All right, guys, good morning. Happy Friday. It is March 20th, and we have lots to get done today. So let's take a look at today's assignments. All right, starting for ELA. The very first thing that we're going to be doing is we're going to be continuing with the water reading assignment that we started yesterday. So I want you guys to first go down to the water assignment that you started yesterday. You are going to be looking back at your answers. Probably easier to go back to classwork since a lot of people are clogging up the feed right now. So let's go to Water by Helen Keller. Let's take a look at that assignment and open up your water worksheet. You're also going to need the text, so you may want to open that up as well. So on the water worksheet, you should have already finished filling in the first page yesterday. You should have checked over those answers with the discussion video. Moving down to the second page, this is what we're looking at now. So if you go back to the directions, right, it says to check this website and revise your answers if needed. So that's talking about this particular worksheet, right, looking at key ideas. So if you recall, you should have posted on this Padlet website yesterday. Now, if you take a look, you'll see there's only about maybe 30 responses. So that means about half of you did not do what you were supposed to do. I'm not really sure why that is. Oh, this is a good one. I'm going to make that one blue. I'm not really sure why that is, but it's really not acceptable. Again, any assignments have to be done, whether they're graded or not. So anyway, looking back now, you're going to review these responses. Compare them to your own. The blue responses are ones that I marked as really excellent answers. So if any of these people have something that you don't have, you may want to revise your answer. Let's take a look. So point of view, perspective. If you have any questions, I'm not going to go through all of these right now. I think that they are pretty straightforward. I think that by looking at each other's answers, you should be able to get a good idea of what some good answers would look like. But of course, if you have any questions or there's any that you're confused about, ask, reach out on Google Classroom, email, whatever. All right, so you're going to use these responses to edit your answers as needed. After completing that, you're going to look back at the text, and then you're going to complete the third worksheet, which is water critical thinking questions. You will have to refer back to the text in order to answer these. And it should go without saying that, of course, it all needs to be in complete sentences. Okay, that should be obvious. After you answer the critical thinking questions, you're going to read this article that I've posted here. So when you click this article, you'll see it's really a pretty interesting article that just gives you some more information about the events surrounding the story of water. As we know now, right, that story, Water by Helen Keller, is a short memoir. It's actually a selection from her longer memoir, a story, I think it's called The Story of My Life. So this article is going to give you more information about that, give you some background information, give you more insight into what actually occurred on that day. And that should help you to then add a little bit more information to your answers here. So you're using information both from the text Water and also from this new article to then revise your answers. Please make sure that you are doing the assignments in order though. So you should first complete this, then review the article, and then revise your answers based on the article. After you've completed that, you should notice there will be a quiz on Monday on water. You will be able to use your notes, all of your sources, but it's just going to be a basic reading comprehension quiz using your skills, author's purpose, text type, all of that good stuff. All right, moving on from water, the next assignment you're going to have to do is preparing for our biography unit. So I've posted this document, Biography Sources. You must complete it by Monday. So over this weekend, you're finding the sources that you're going to be using. You're not reading the sources, you're just finding them. So if you scroll down, you'll see it says Biography Sources, and it does say due by Monday. All right, so on here, your name obviously is your name. Subject is the person that you're researching. So whether that's Harriet Tubman or Steve Jobs or whoever it may be, that's your subject. So you're going to need to read and produce research notes. For from at least 3 sources to complete the project. You're going to need a book source, an online source, and a video source. And if you recall, I did tell you guys at least about the book source before we left. I think that was last week. Many of you I did give books to as well. If you don't have a book for your person, you are going to need to find one. So whether that's going to the library, which I'm not sure if it's still open, or I strongly recommend purchasing your book if you can, whether on Amazon or another retailer. A lot of the time on eBay you can find books for like $1 or $2, so definitely check that out. If you're having trouble finding a book, especially because the library is closed, please reach out to me. I will help you find a book, or I will help you find an alternate source. So you're going to include the book's title and author. So you don't have to actually have the book with you by Monday. Let's say that you find the book on Saturday on eBay or Amazon, you order it. It doesn't have to arrive here by Monday, but you have to have it written down what the title and author is, and it has to be on its way to you, right? You're going to need the books next week, so make sure that you have them by sometime, Tuesday, Wednesday next week at the latest. After you found your book source, you're also going to need to find an online source. I've given you some suggestions, but you don't have to use, necessarily these sources. You're also going to need to find a video source. So go ahead and, you can use these. You can go on YouTube, etc. But you're going to need to find a video source, and you're just going to provide the link for each of those. I'm going to be checking those over for you guys on Monday. All right, I think, okay, other than that, that's everything new for today. The only 2 things that you have to also complete that are not new: if you did not complete the No Red Ink assignment yet, it is due by 3 p.m. today. That needs to get done. And of course, we're also spending 10 minutes every day, Monday to Friday, on our typing lessons, so that needs to be done as well. All right, moving on to social studies. The next thing you're going to be doing for social studies is I gave you all feedback on your evidence organizer. So you need to take a look at that feedback and revise it as necessary. And then you're going to be starting the outline. So if you go down to where it says DBQ essay outline, it's a pretty standard outline. All you're doing for this, for today, is the introduction. So remember, for your hook, you can use a quote, a question, interesting fact, statistic, etc. For background info, since it's not a literary essay, right, we're not writing about a novel, you're not going to have to summarize the events of the novel, but you do need to summarize the events of Alexander's life, right? Basic events or basic information about his childhood, basically leading up to your explanation. Since your essay is going to be about his life as an adult, you want to explain what happened before that, right, so that the reader can understand a little bit about Alexander and his life. And then, of course, you're going to have your thesis there. So this should be pretty simple for today. Not a whole lot of work to be done for social studies. I think that's it for today. So if you guys have any questions, ask. Oh, if you're in 6D01, I did post a optional advisory assignment. I do recommend completing it, but it's not required. All right, guys, that's it for today. Like I said, make sure you're completing all required assignments. Make sure that you're completing them in the order they are posted, and let me know if you need any help. I'll talk to you soon.